Hey guys, it's Lynn, and this is my channel, Fidget DIYs, where I do home decor on a budget. I post new content every week, and you can connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. This video is part of Hello Fall, a collaboration hosted by Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Krista from Krista's Crafty Life. Their channel links, as well as the playlist link, will be in my description box below. Check everybody out, they're super amazing. I think I said everything, so let's fidget. Alright, for the first one I've got this piece of wood that used to be like a mini shelf or something, and I'm going to give it one coat of Waverly Snow White chalk paint and leave it just like that. Now I'm going to come in with some honey mustard by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to do a real quick just blah coat. And I took my painting mixer tool thing, my spatula, and I scraped across that color, dried it with my heat tool, and now I'm coming in with terracotta, and I'm gonna kind of dry brush it, but get some of that color in mixed in with that yellow as well. I'm going for like an aged paint effect, like it's been part of a barn and painted over and over and over again. Now I'm coming in with soft green, and I did a pretty good coat of that all over there. Now I'm gonna sand. And once I'm happy with it, I'm going to distress it with some black by Apple Barrel on the sides as well, obviously. And I've got this galvanized truck from Dollar Tree. They have that 4 for $1 thing going on, which is amazing. And I put Snow White by Waverly, and then I put Bright Blue by Apple Barrel on the truck. Now I'm coming in with pumpkin, and I'm painting these bright green pumpkins I got at Dollar Tree. They were just too bright. And I took my sander again and went over the entirety of that truck, and you can see some of the galvanized metal and some of the white, so it looked really cool. Now I've got this wood cut out, and I'm taking the top of this sign off. I'm cutting it down to where I can put it on the side of the truck and make it look like the business name. And I'm going to sand the edges of that and get that ready to put on the truck. And I'm not sure if I attach it yet or not, guys, but here we are. So now I'm going to put some tumbling tower blocks on the back of the truck, because I want it lifted off of that piece of wood. And you can kind of see I did 2 strips of wood across the top and bottom, and I'm going to glue down some of this hula skirt raffia, also from Dollar Tree. And then I come in with just miscellaneous leaves and hot glue those. Basically just doing what I can to make it look cute. And I also hot glued some of that raffia stuff to the back of the truck, so I can put these little pumpkins down into the back of this truck and make it look like it's carrying pumpkins. So I put the popsicle stick into the bottom of one pumpkin, and then to the side of the other pumpkin. Anyway, so they'll sit in the back of the truck differently. And I hot glued those to the back with the pumpkins poking out the front. That word harvest, I also dry brushed that with some Waverly Snow White chalk paint. I'm attaching my pumpkins to the back of the truck. I've got this red gingham ribbon. I'm going to make a shoestring bow and a twine bow and put that in the top left. And here it is. I think this one turned out super cute, and those galvanized signs are on sale at Dollar Tree. It's probably the only thing on sale at Dollar Tree. Let me know what y'all think of this one. Okay, this one is a large MDF mason jar sign that I got a long time ago at Dollar Tree. I took the metal thing off, cleaned it up, painted it in Waverly Snow White, and I'm drawing lines on it for to space them out evenly so I can do my design. Now I'm going to use this soft green, some classic caramel, and all I'm doing is going along the checkered stripes I drew for myself. I'm going up and down, and this is some tomato red. I'm going to draw each stripe, by the way, in between doing them. After I finished the pattern, I dry brushed the whole thing with some Waverly white chalk paint. And now I'm going to attach its little silver lid thing back and match up the holes, because I'm going to use those as the hanger. Now I've got a stencil from Walmart, and I'm going to stencil Hello Fall. Well, I've got the cursive stencil and the regular letter stencils. And that cat, that's my Gigi. She jumped up there 3 times while I did these letters. Anyway, I've got nutmeg, and I'm doing the letters in that. And I also attached some little wooden leaves that I painted. Now I've got this burlap ribbon, and I'm fitting it to see how I like it. And all I did was double up the burlap ribbon across the front of that because it was kind of thin for my taste. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just tacking that to the back of my sign. And I decided to put some raffia around the center of the burlap. Yeah, finger protectors. I always say finger protectors, y'all. This stuff's hot. Now I'm going to put hot glue on this sign, almost put it on upside down, and then I'm going to put it in the middle. And I didn't know if I wanted to put flowers or I wanted to embellish this some kind of how. So after I tack the bottom and the top down to the jar, the sign, whatever. Oh, I tie some raffia around the neck of the jar for some added cuteness. And all I embellish it with is this little scarecrow that I made. And I'll link the video where I made it so y'all can see how to do that. And here it is. And this one turned out so cute too. Like, just, I don't know. I'm just speechless. Y'all let me know what you think of this one. Would y'all have put some flowers on there also? I don't know. Yeah, y'all let me know. What would you have done? More mason jars. I have this little cookbook, and it's a cardboard cookbook, kind of like the children's books that have like the real thick pages. So I cut 4 mason jars out, and I reinforced the back of those with some tongue depressor size craft sticks. I painted all 4 of them with 1 coat of Waverly Snow White. I came in and did the lids of all 4 of those with a base coat of Timeless Gray, and then I dabbed on little splotches of Dolphin Gray to get that galvanized metal look. And y'all will have to let me know if I pulled it off. But anyway, I did that to all 4 of them. Oh, and the way I put that Dolphin Gray on there was I cut up one of the pouncers, the paint stick pouncers or whatever they're called, foam. And I'm just using a little tiny piece of foam to blotch it all over. I guess I'm showing more of that than I meant to. Well, y'all see what I'm doing. I do it to all 4. And here I'm taking the painter's tape off and yanking off some of the white, which is not going to matter because I'm painting all 4 of these different colors. The first color is going to be fern green, and this is a little bit more saturated than that soft green, but you could use the other green. It doesn't really matter. I just went with fall colors, y'all. And I want to say I gave each one of those 2 coats of their colors. And now I've got this checkered banner and some stencils, and I did the word fall. I took some black by apple barrel and went around the edges of my little mason jars. And here I splooged some Mod Podge on my red one, which is tomato red, by the way. And then the orange is pumpkin, and the brown is that classic caramel. After they all have Mod Podge on them and they are dry, I'm wrapping each one of them with a little strip of burlap. And then I'm going to hot glue each one of the letters to the center of these mason jars, just like so. Sorry, my head got in the way. Now, on the back of this thing, I have these 2 pieces of foam core, which adds some weight to the sign, so it'll hold it down, and some foam, floral foam to the top, 4 different thin squares, because I don't need a lot, and I don't want it to poke out from the wall too much. Now I'm adding a bunch of florals. Some I put in the floral foam, some I just hot glued to the sign. And here it is. Y'all are going to have to let me know what you think of this one. This one had so many steps to it, but I think it turned out really, really pretty. I was kind of inspired by that designer, Mackenzie Childs, that puts the checker pattern and everything. Y'all let me know what you think of this one. This one's going to be pretty quick, you guys. I got this baking sheet that I Mod Podged some napkins to the front of and painted it with gray and Waverly White chalk paint. I painted it a long time ago, but now I'm going to use it. So I sand everything down, clean it up. I put this shirt, it's like a button-up shirt, over the top of it and traced out how much of it I needed. Now I'm going to take Mod Podge. You can use any kind. All I have is glossy Mod Podge right now, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to slather on a bunch of Mod Podge and strategically position this shirt over the top of it. And I had to keep kind of pulling it back. I didn't want any wrinkles because this is going to be a notes board, like a memo board type thing, and I just didn't need the wrinkles. Now I've got these little velvet pumpkins, mini pumpkins, and they came from Hobby Lobby. I got them at the thrift store, but they had the Hobby Lobby tag, so that's how I knew. And I put magnets on the back of all 4 of those, and then I come around the inside of that pie pan with sisal rope. And now I got the letters. I didn't have an E. It's a brand new bag of letters, and there was no E, so I made one. And we're just going to put notes across the top of it. And I'm going to show you how I did the hanger. I went from the bottom of my piece and wrapped it around the bottom of the pie pan, and wrapped it around the side of the pie pan. And the reason I'm doing this is so that it will hang right, and so it won't, like, because metal is hard to hot glue stuff to, and that just secured it and made it hang a lot better. And now I've got this wobbly reveal. I put some raffia at the bottom, put the little magnets all over the board, attached the word, finish the hanger, and this is what we've got. And I just think this turned out super cute, and it's extremely functional. I've got it hanging up already. It's not even fall. Y'all let me know what you think of this one. Last but not least, I have a centerpiece I will be working on. You'll see the tray eventually, but right now all I'm showing you is me putting together sticks and leaves into like little bunches. So I'm attaching some stems, I'm attaching sticks, leaves. Eventually I will attach acorns and pine cones. So I'm just pretty much getting all of the individual pieces ready for putting on the tray. Now I come in with these little foam eggs, and I'm going to do the first coat, which is burnt umber, on all 3 of them. Then I come in and go from the small end of the egg down to the fat end of the egg with nutmeg. Then I'm coming from the fat end of the egg to the small end of the egg upward with classic caramel. And then I wrapped each one of those with some twine to make little acorns. I've got these gold pine cones that I painted burnt umber. And now I've got this Halloween pumpkin that I'm going to use, but I'm going to hide his face. I stuck this sunflower on the left-hand side, and I bring in the sunflower's leaves and just kind of cover up the rest of the smile and the eyeball by gluing those leaves into place. And that's going to be part of our centerpiece. There's the tray, the faux wood tray. It's like an oval. Adding a curly Q to the top of the pumpkin. You see I've got berries. And that is a tea light candle from Dollar Tree. I stuck some beach grass behind that sunflower on the pumpkin, because it looks like wheat. It looked really cute. I attached a leaf to the candle itself. I added some Spanish moss and positioned everything all cute. I added a leaf to the top of the pumpkin, the stem. And this is what I've got. And it is sitting in the center of my table, and I love it. I love the sunflower being a focal point and the different little aspects that I made myself. It gives it some character. And there's that, the candle is lit in this one and the light's just not off. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. Thanks for coming and checking out my projects today. I hope you'll subscribe and like and share the video so we can continue to grow the community and learn from each other. And for all of my subscribers, I love you guys. You mean the absolute world to me. See you guys next time.